direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Man, I've been sitting here ready to go live, but as we were going live, I was just fumbling through all these stacks of incredible news, just trying to think, what is the top story? What is most important? And I really come to the same conclusion every time I have that thought. It's the entire mass of news together that really shows us how truly insane society and civilization is going. Here's one thing. I thought it was pretty incredible yesterday when we broke the story with the video from McAllen, Texas on the Mexican border, that the head of emergency management said that over 90% of the illegals that show up bust in by the Border Patrol to McAllen to be staged at churches, already have tickets provided to them to go wherever they want in the United States, quote, in the interior, and that nothing is being done. They're just being paid to get into the U.S. when they could take them in a bus and drive them back over and throw them back into Mexico. They don't even do that. They drive them into the U.S., and that video is up on Infowars.com. No one picked it up. No one covered it. As of my search about an hour before broadcast time today, and then I had missed it in the stack as I was going through it, caught red-handed, Border Patrol paying to ship illegals deeper into the U.S., the Daily Mail that I know follows Infowars.com closely, and they actually give us credit a lot of times. I got to give them credit. Every week or so, they give us credit for stories we've broken. I was reading through this one and didn't see us credited, but they broke this yesterday evening. We broke this really in the evening before yesterday, but I broke it big time here on the air. And I'm not into who breaks things first. It's just I'm trying to get this story out. So it's interesting to track it and learn how the media works. Hundreds of illegal immigrant children are being handed to relatives who are in the U.S. illegally, too. Well, yeah, that's what the DREAM Act does. As HHS admits, it makes no effort to find out their immigration status. Now, when they say handed to, you mean paid to get to, whether it's Chicago, Illinois, or Austin, Texas, whether it's Seattle, Washington, or Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. So at least the Daily Mail covered it, and they made some phone calls and talked to Health and Human Services people who admitted that's going on. They don't even try to check that they have, quote, verified sponsors. It's just you get here, you're legal, the government's going to pay for it, and then you're going to get put on welfare as soon as you get to the, quote, illegal immigrant family, and then they bring in the next wave. I mean, this is mind-boggling. And folks, when you look at who's coming here, it is the poorest of the slums of Mexico, of Guatemala, of Nicaragua, El Salvador, Paraguay, Uruguay, Honduras, Belize, the Caribbean nations. By the way, the Caribbean, you can look this up, has descended into total bedlam the last few years. Most areas are just war zones now. The Bahamas is the most dangerous place other than Mexico. People still go there constantly. But the issue here is that the United States in these pockets, areas of Arizona, you name it, are becoming lawless as well. And you look at the truly poor, destitute people with no education. I mean, they're going to be wards of the state for generations now. You think government's taking the black community and wrecked people. My God, they're going to have a heyday with the poorest people of Latin America who will never work another day in their lives now. They're going directly on the Democratic Party's mammary gland, which is your money. We'll be back.
A chemical spill contaminating the water supply in 9 West Virginia counties.
This year alone, over 300,000 people in West Virginia had their drinking water contaminated.
What are the health effects of having these drugs in our drinking water?
It's forced medical treatment without the consent of residents.
My friends, water filtration is one of the most basic actions you can take to protect you and your family from the harmful toxins and heavy metals in your tap water.
On average, the county says it sprays with the glyphosate at least once a week.
Few filters cut out the glyphosate that is found in water supplies worldwide. Remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, hydrofluorosilicic acid, sodium hexafluorosilicate.
Fluoride, it is in tea, it's in coffee, it's in water, it's in bread, it's in toothpaste.
It is our responsibility to protect our families. The establishment's not going to do it. It's time to take action. It's time to filter our water. Visit InfoWarsStore.com and use promo code WATER to get 10% off their entire family of incredible products. Or call toll-free 888-253-3139. From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape, but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. I began to get into iodine a few years ago because it was helping me and my family so much get healthy and detoxify. Most people know that iodine deficiency has been a crisis around the world. Iodine is key to so many of the body's functions, especially the thyroid. I discovered a product being developed by Dr. Group. You now know it as Survival Shield True Nascent Iodine that your body can really absorb. Then, about a year ago, he said, listen, if you think this is powerful, I'm going to come out with rare earth, deep earth crystals. And the results that I personally have had have been life-changing. Nobody else has got iodine based on these pure crystals, ladies and gentlemen. This is innovating, and the best part is it helps fund Infowars.com, the radio show, the TV show, the whole media operation promoting true libertarian ideas. For a limited time, experience the ancient power of Survival Shield X2. Take advantage of this unprecedented 30% off Super Detox Special at InfoWarsLife.com.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly.
The Alex Jones Show, because there is a war on for your mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this worldwide transmission Thursday, the 19th day already of June 2014. I am your host, Alex Jones. The news websites are prisonplanet.com and, of course, Infowars.com. The U.S. military officially throughout the Pentagon, and the letters are flooding us by the hundreds, with photocopies and digital photos that the military personnel are taking for us, or snapping for us. We've been hit by a tsunami of documentation that at military terminals and computers across the world, Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com are being blocked. That's why we have Facebook. That's why we have Twitter. It's why we have YouTube and a bunch of other platforms, because it's a whack-a-mole type situation for years where we get censored at libraries, at colleges, you name it. We are listed as hate and violence as well as racism. And we're seeing censorship happen to InfoWars, not just on the internet, but concerted efforts that do absolutely nothing, by the way, of calling up our AM and FM affiliates with Democratic Party seminar callers. They're trained in seminars to call up and threaten them that they better take my show off the air. And several affiliates, I'm going to get some of them on as guests to talk about it, have just said, you know what, we have him on at night rebroadcast. We're just going to go ahead and put him on live. How's that sound? Because we listen to Alex and we know he's not preaching hate or racism or violence, but the opposite. It's you people trying to destroy free speech in this country. And if you can shut Alex Jones off the air, you can shut everybody off the air. So we're getting a lot of new affiliates all over the United States right now. The system is upset by that, and they don't like it. And by the way, the biggest boost we ever got on the roadmap to InfoWars growing and reaching more and more people was when I put out Police State 2000 in 1999 and authorized folks to make copies of the VHS and the DVD. It was a bestseller for me at the time and allowed me to hire some crew members, build a better studio, and a lot of stuff. That film became a hit. That the Marines, who featured largely in the film, running checkpoints, preparing for urban warfare, gun confiscation, the Marines were upset by the fact that they were being trained for gun confiscation. They watched the film. It caused a huge debate, and the Marines were told in briefings all over the United States, came down from Clinton, it came down from the high brass, do not watch Alex Jones, do not listen to him. Well, most of them didn't know who I was, so it made that film a super hot, cause celeb documentary that was passed out on military bases. Then it became popular in the Army. They would run the Marines, run the Army, give them PT duty, write them up, you name it, chew them out. Some commanders would call them in and say, you know, I trust you guys. This is America. It's the First Amendment. We shouldn't be training to confiscate guns. I want you to watch this film. So their attempt to do that totally backfired. And that's what's happening here. And, you know, I saw some of the comments on Infowars.com by the hired paid trolls on record. It's on record. They have literally sock puppets is what they call them, these computer programs that a person loads in the responses, but then the sock puppets go out and auto post with bots to the comment sections. And they basically caused the Streisand effect before the Streisand effect was even known to exist in 2003. The Streisand effect is a phenomenon whereby an attempt to hide, remove, or censor a piece of information has the unintended consequence of publicizing the information more widely, facilitated by the internet. Usually facilitated. It's named after American entertainer Barbra Streisand, who attempted in 2003, 4 years after this happened to me, to suppress photographs of her residence in Malibu, California, inadvertently generating further publicity. Similar attempts have been made, for example, in cease and desist letters to suppress numbers, files, and websites. Instead of being suppressed, the information receives extensive publicity and media extensions, such as videos and spoof songs, often being widely mirrored across the internet or distributed on file-sharing networks. Now, the system is not stupid up at the top, but they have an authoritarian streak to want to just shut me up and shut you up. The problem is we're so prolific, and we're on so many platforms growing under the censorship. See, when they would hack and attack one website or ban it, I would just start 4 or 5. Remember, I used to have all those other websites. Infowars.net still up, JonesReport.com. We don't really update. We're going to do something big with it soon. Because they were always hitting my sites and attacking them, every time we were attacked or censored, we would launch a new website. That was a primitive form of social network or a primitive form of distributing yourself.